Story 1. The filters frustrate me. I want to see your real face, please. The filters do not even make you look better. Story 2. Pictures of their children, especially when the child is the only person in the photo. I have seen some women use their child as the very first main photo on their profile. Mothers of Reddit, please explain why this is so common. Story 3. Only group photos or photos of children. I do not want photos of children, and I am not trying to figure out which girl is in the group photo. Story 4. I used to see a lot of screenshots of, if you cannot handle me at my worst, you do not deserve me at my best. This usually means she will be at her worst all the time. Story 5. I have not been on there for about 7 years, but when those dog filters were popular. Every single woman had one as her main profile picture, so it was just constant left swiping. Story 6. Instagram party girl, main character vibe. Duck lips like a baboon butt. Inspirational picture with a big message full of misandry. Story 7. Those foolish filters where her face is softened to the point of looking like a mannequin. Also, when they add those fake dog ears or similar effects. Story 8. In no order. Kids. Sorry, I am child-free by choice. Headshots, torso only, or unusual angles. I have been catfished too many times. Group photos. I am not trying to figure out which one is you. Story 9. When every posted picture is obviously filtered, or when they are too young, less than a 5-year age difference is uncomfortable. Also, if their opening statement contains things I strongly disagree with. Story 10. Anything where they have their kids in a photo is straight up reckless. I've dated women who have kids, and I have zero issue with it. But it's poor parenting to show your child off to strangers on a dating app. It's red flag behavior. I will give an extra one as well. If I read a woman's bio and see a requirement list like the ones we have seen, it's weirdly specific. For example, 1. Must be 6 feet 5 inches tall. Must have brown hair. Must never use the word dictionary. Must own a capybara named Pablo. Must own timeshares in the Federation of Planets. Yeah, that kind of list in that format is familiar. I find those lists pretentious, and if I see one, it's a no from me. Story 11. I call them portfolio photos. Pictures that are overly edited, not just filtered, but look like they are from a photo shoot. These are overly posed and either too professional or look like you are trying to go to the most expensive restaurant in the city. I prefer actual candid photos. Story 12. Filters, extreme downward angles, all group photos, and I am not on here much. Here is my username. Please stop using the apps. Story 13. If I have to play Where's Waldo, please, ladies, put a picture of just yourself as the first picture at a minimum. Also, holding firearms to your head is disturbing. Why do that? No face in the picture. So many close-ups of breasts, buttocks, etc. It's weird. Let's stop it. Filters. Seriously, these women say they are in their 30s, but that makes me cringe more than children today do, and I expect children to be cringy, not adults. Pictures of men that they are hugging without explanation. You know what? Just don't use this photo. Pictures of children without explanation. Am I gonna have to guess if you have children or not? Also, don't post solo shots of children. That's weird. Also, don't post pictures of your sonogram. That's weird too. Pictures of food, cartoon characters, memes, etc. Again, I expect this from children but not adults. Pictures of yourself, that's what's good. These are examples of pictures I've come across. Some more than others. The gun one happened twice. It's weird. Story 14. When she has had excessive cosmetic face surgery. A highly posed selfie picture, as if taken from a cinematic movie. In my experience, women like this can be very selfish and toxic. She is a full-time Instagram influencer, and her income depends on it, sometimes through questionable methods. Additionally, excessive alcoholism. Story 15. I do not think I would ever really connect vibe-wise with a girl whose first picture is her posing in a bikini. This is pretty common for people in their early 20s. Story 16. Concert or rave girls have a huge overlap with what I am attracted to, with colored hair, piercings, and tattoos. Story 17. Honestly, I swipe left when the first photo shows her only in a bikini, when she looks too attractive, or when she appears to have expensive taste, such as being very well dressed or in fancy locations. I also swipe left if there is a lack of text and personality information. I do not match with people I know nothing about. I do not have much to offer, so I would be unwise to try to match with someone out of my league. Story 18. Group picture where everyone is clearly in frame, and the entire front row is in a goofy pose with bent knees and leaning forward, as if trying to squeeze in. Story 19. I swipe left on any woman with a picture of her on a boat. I have no desire to be on a boat, and while it is essentially meaningless, it has helped me to be more selective. Story 20. Typically, those who look too normal because I usually do not have a chance. Also, too many filters or something that appears fake. Or those who just look like an OnlyFans advertisement. Story 21. The picture does not matter. It is either the lack of any text or just a bunch of random emojis. I want to know if they have a functioning brain to be interested. Story 22. The kind where their lips look like they have just eaten 3 buckets of shellfish and had an allergic reaction. And makeup so thick their skin looks more plastic and shiny than a mannequin. Story 23. If you are not the only woman in the picture and I have to swipe to figure it out, one of two things will happen. I will find your friend more attractive than you, so now I am upset that I am on your profile and not hers. B. You are the attractive one, but now I am upset that you made me investigate. Story 24. Things that suggest an obsession with money and branding. Posing with a conspicuous Gucci purse is a no from me. Story 25. If I cannot tell whether someone is obese or what their body looks like, I will not waste my time. Also, women who do not smile with their teeth, I assume they do not have any. Story 26. It's more about the text for me than the pictures. If there is an excessive amount of ego and qualification requirements in the biography, I barely even look at the person and move on. Story 27. Skydiving. I am not a thrill seeker. I am never going to keep up with that. Being in Southern California, if more than half their pictures are at Disney, left swipe. The number of people who think Disneyland is a great first date is insane. I will propose to you at Disneyland, but that is too expensive if I do not know you. Story 28. When I was on the apps, I swear if you had a pumpkin at a pumpkin patch picture, I was done. It was every other picture and typically had a friend's quote or something like that. Story 29. Woman posing next to her attractive friend. I think some old study suggested that taking photos with a more attractive person made you look better, and people took the advice. Couldn't be more wrong. When I see someone rated 5 standing next to someone rated 9, I'm always like, which one is she? Oh, bummer. Instant disappointment. Left swipe. Also, an Asian woman whose photo backgrounds are all foreign often indicates a pig butchering scam. I have wasted so much time scrutinizing backgrounds of profiles for tells. Of course, one of the coolest people I met on Tinder was a Chinese-American woman whose photos were all from abroad, mostly Europe. Story 30. A picture that features a cat. No hate towards cats. I am just allergic to them and know how much female cats mean to their owners. So there is no point in even attempting that. This has also made me realize that many women have cats. It is a phenomenon I find quite curious, honestly. Story 31. Duck face or tongue sticking out. I am sure some men like those pictures. But for me, I have always found them gross and immature. It is similar to how many women cringe at shirtless selfies or bicep pictures. I cringe whenever some women go overboard with the seductive look. Story 32. Off the top of my head, only group pictures or pictures taken from above. I have been around long enough to tell what you are trying to hide. Horse pictures. That is a standard of living I just cannot measure up to. Too many outdoor pictures. I am not really an outdoors person, so we would probably be incompatible. Hijabs. I am Muslim but more of a cultural one, which is most likely a non-starter for someone wearing a hijab. If they are too good-looking, I am not that attractive, so it is most likely a wasted swipe. If there are only pictures, I need to know a bit about you beyond your appearance. Does that count as a kind of picture? Story 33. Any profile that has pictures of landscapes, food, or similar subjects. Also, any profile where all the pictures show multiple girls and it is not clear which one is her. Story 34. Super fancy pictures in luxurious locations suggest high maintenance, and it is likely that she did not pay for all of that herself. Story 35. Anyone posing with a pet snake. Anyone who smokes enough that I can tell you are a smoker by looking at the skin around your lips or looking at your teeth. If your smoking habit is that bad, your hair, clothes, bedding, and car probably smell bad. Anyone wearing scrubs. Anyone whose profile photos prominently show their children. I have dated single mothers, so the child is not a problem for me. It is the decision to plaster the child's face on a dating app profile for strangers to see that bothers me. Story 36. Doesn't matter. They won't get back to me, haha. Usually, if their bio is really negative, like, don't talk to me if you are a, or something similar, I lose interest. If their whole bio is negative, I don't want to try to get to know them. For me, personality is 80% of what I am looking for. I can forgive a lot in the looks department if we have good chemistry or if they seem genuine and chill. After 300 comment approaches referencing their profiles in a month, and after 6 months of app use, I gave up on apps entirely. I suspect my online self is not appealing, but when I was in college, I got a lot of feminine attention. Dating apps are like job applications. Story 37. Bathroom selfies in general, especially with an open toilet in the background. Who wants to see that? Middle finger to the camera. Hugging another person, unless there is a caption saying he is your brother or best friend forever. Still, you probably have other pictures. Group pictures without an indicator showing which person is you. All selfies taken in your bedroom or car. Septum piercing. Story 38. Deceptive camera angles are used to make you look skinnier. I might have dated you when you were chubby, but I am not dating you if you are insecure and deceptive about it. Story 39. If she does not have any pictures of her full body that are not covered in intentionally baggy clothing. Story 40. I am not a fan of excessive piercings or tattoos, but that is my personal preference and not an objective judgment. Story 41. When they have an unreasonable list of requirements for their life partner, appear very traditional or seem highly career-oriented. Story 42. Pictures with bad lighting or unusual filters, as well as group shots where I cannot tell who is who, I immediately swipe left. Also, if they are all just gym selfies with no variety, it is rather boring. Story 43. For the short time I was on dating applications, there were too many inactive profiles. Pictures with children in them were present. Pictures with captions like, I am a person with attitude were common. Only one identification style picture was found. There were close-ups only of the face. Pictures resembling those of Instagram models were frequent. Plus-size individuals wearing small clothes appeared. Pictures that looked like the person had just been crying were included. Group pictures were also common. Story 44. Poor quality tattoos on a yacht in front of the Eiffel Tower, wearing a silly costume, any picture with any filter at all. Story 45. All or almost all pictures show exactly one activity. I love moderation, so someone showing that their personality entirely revolves around one activity turns me off. All I can picture is the type of person who needs to be going every weekend to do that activity, like my one ex who always needed to be doing something. Variety is the spice of life. Too much of one thing dulls the appreciation. If it's always 70 degrees outside, you lose the appreciation of it. Story 46. Anything that is followed by loving adventures. What even are adventures and why are so many women going on them? Story 47. Any type of dangerous internet challenge like bourging. To my knowledge, bourging is where you mix different alcohols and potentially other substances together, usually in a gallon jug. It is also called the blackout challenge, which indicates the level of risk involved. Story 48. The only visible makeup is dark eyeliner. They are wearing foundation and other products, but the black eyeliner, which makes up most of the look, is really unattractive. Sticking out their tongue. Flipping off the camera. Dead animals. Story 49. Off the top of my head. Being scantily clad. almost naked at nightclubs or festivals. Having too many tattoos, such as tattooing your entire body unless you are a celebrity like Justin Bieber or Post Malone. Posting pictures of themselves doing generally foolish things, like flashing their chest with an emoji hiding it. Ridiculous nose piercings. Super long fingernails. Story 50. Nose rings, backs of their heads as in the first picture. Only food pictures, middle finger. Your mom answers. Story 51. Being out of shape, all travel photos or hiding their body in photos. If the photos look really old, group photos, photos with other men, if they appear to be showing off an expensive lifestyle or overly posed images. Story 52. Back when I was using an application, if she was attractive, I knew I would have to be extremely delusional to even think I had a chance. I only swiped right on women who were average or slightly above. I never got any matches, though not that I really expected to. Story 53. Too good, like professional pictures. I like the ordinary, casual pictures or ones where you can tell she is cute but the picture quality is poor. Story 54. Overweight stay-at-home mother as a profession, you are single. How? Photos in bars and clubs, listing feminist in the biography, listing Christian in the biography, astrology content, no full-body pictures, sexually suggestive pictures. Story 55. When it is nothing but group photos, how am I supposed to know which one you are? This is not I Spy Roulette. Story 56. Plus-sized, wearing camouflage, has children in the picture, is the least attractive friend in the group picture, filters that red hat. Story 57. Caked up face. Every picture features alcohol. Pictures with men. Overly revealing or sexual pictures. Every single picture is from a night out. Multiple group pictures. Pictures that suggest you might be expensive. Pictures that suggest you don't know how to stay home and have a relaxing day. Overweight. Racy Halloween costumes. Multiple pictures of random things. One picture is enough regardless of photography skills. Filters. Only face pictures or only body pictures. I feel all of these reasons are pretty self-explanatory. Story 58. I instantly swiped left for women doing stereotypical sexy poses, gestures, and facial expressions or dancing sexual displays. Shallow, imitative conformists do not turn me on. Leave that to the professionals. Keep your unpaid imitations off dating profiles. Make adult entertainment great again. Story 59. No longer single, but when I was, tattoos would turn me off completely. A heavy image filter was another one. Story 60. I skip motorcycles and gym rats. If you have your assets or clam dinner in the air, that's a no from me, dog. Story 61. When they are overweight, wear filters, use angles to hide their weight, show their backside, dress provocatively, and engage in activities I find uninteresting. Story 62. Over-revealing pictures, pictures with excessive filters that make the person look unnatural, photos with devil horns, ambiguous group photos, photos with many pets, photos showing offensive gestures, photos with other men. Honestly, anything without clear intent. Story 63. I am not on any dating applications, but if I were, the answer would be her being scantily clad. It is a red flag to me and suggests she did not receive enough attention from her father. Story 64. If your friend is more attractive than you, or if it seems like you have never met an African American person, I am done. Story 65. I didn't even realize I had these standards until I started online dating. I guess I encountered these people in real life and viewed them as someone I date until the apps started presenting them as options. Overweight, black, Indian, or Arab. Just not a culture fit. I've been on first dates with some. It never worked out. Bull nose piercing. Any sign they care a lot about politics or feminism. Lean whatever way you want. Just don't make it a big part of your personality. Smokes. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall, so my cutoff is 5 feet 6 inches. Below that, it's too awkward to dance, casually kiss, or some bedroom moves. The taller, the better. Pretty much anything else goes. If you aren't these, I'm probably swiping right. Story 66. Overweight, obese, morbidly obese women, black women, single mothers, or a combination of these groups. Story 67. When I used applications, deformities that would be difficult to deal with socially, like a woman in a wheelchair. Story 68. Women in my age range, 30s to 40s, posting pictures drinking in clubs as if it is still cool. Any feminist or politically related pictures also receive a left swipe. Story 69. Photos at multiple locations indicate multiple people. We understand the difference between a family vacation and someone flying you out for a date. Story 70. When they are really unattractive or from some distant country with gold diggers, I swipe right as much as possible. Later, I separate the valuable ones from the worthless. I ghost them before they do and ignore them for a while. Then, once every 2 weeks, I delete them all. Story 71. 1. Colorful hair. 2. A lot of piercings and tattoos. 3. Leftist vibes. And by that I do not mean I mind women with liberal views at all. All of these combined are indicators of mental health issues to me. Sorry if this offends anyone. Story 72. I do not know. I do not use such applications. Is there even a reason to use such applications if you are not searching for sexual content? Because, as far as I am aware, people use those just for sexual purposes. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.